In preparation for my first solo, we needed the weather to cooperate to allow practicing some important maneuvers, including slow fight, power on stalls, power off stalls, emergency descents, turns around a point, and S-turns over a road. Despite some fairly significant winds aloft, we were able to do all the maneuvers, though I still need some practice, but feel ready for the first solo on the paddle. Progress to proficiency.
I have to crab a little bit left into the wind to stay over the runway, apply the runway track.
I can finally see around now.
I know.
Good enough weather.
Yeah, this is great.
Go up to what, 4,500?
Just keep going like 5,500. Yeah, give us some altitude to do the maneuvers at. That's kind of going left and right of the clouds here. Yeah, wow. Visibility is awesome.
Yeah,
you can see the white mountains. Once you feel like you have it trimmed and configured nicely, we can do our left turn, our left 360. And you may need to give us some right aileron in order to prevent from overbanking. It's totally fine and expected.
Kick to traffic, Ranger 40860 is turning final 43367.
And as you do this maneuver, you can also use the opportunity to check the weather around you and look for other traffic.
And Kingston traffic, Ranger 40860 is final 433 Kingston.
That's 330. Alright, pretty good. Alright. So now that we've done that, now we can set it for the power off stall. So just bring the power back to idle and let the nose come down. You may have to push it down a little bit. Just pull it all the way out. Keep your hand over it. Once we accelerate to about 70, we'll start to bring the nose up. Not going to be super duper far up though, but you'll have to keep increasing the back pressure. So you're going to be at least level on the horizon, probably a little bit more than, maybe like 5 degrees max probably. Alright, and the stall warning. Keep that back pressure. Use the rudder pedal to control where your nose is going. Use the left aileron. Just use the rudders. I think we're in this weird half stall. There we go. Alright, no ailerons. Ailerons to the middle. Ailerons to the middle. Left rudder. Smash on the left rudder. Alright, at full power. Car feet off. Flaps to 20. Now, when the stall stalls, just get the nose up. Don't descend. Keep climbing. So whatever happens, just keep recovering from the stall. My guy took the check ride yesterday, actually broke left on him, and he recovered from that, and it was still within the standard. So whatever happens, just recover from whatever happens. And then if we pause the rate of climb, they can start bringing the flaps up the rest of the way. Don't accelerate for 80, so get the nose up. Looks like the flaps are up, okay. Alright. So we'll set up, let's do one of those again real quick. So just pull the carpet on, pull the power to idle, and then just hold the flaps down. You don't have to like spend a whole hour setting this stupid thing up. So then just hold the flaps down, keep the nose down too. So only rudders to maintain directional control, because by bringing the yoke left, you actually were forcing the nose over to the right even more.
Yeah.
Alright, so then you can start bringing the nose up. You were keeping it like right before it was stalling. That was kind of an odd place to keep it.
Yeah, it felt weird.
It didn't like being there. A little more right rudder. Right rudder. Right rudder. Right rudder. Smash that thing to the floor. Yeah, if it breaks either way, you have so little aerodynamic control with the rudder, you just gotta smash it all the way to the floor. So recover, so car feet off first. Flaps up to 20. And make sure you don't accelerate through your VY. Then gradually raise them the rest of the way. And then nose up a little bit more once the flaps are up. So you can pitch for VY. Alright. We'll keep working on those. I mean, the recovery was okay. You're not going to deliberately like stall the plane, so as long as you react to whatever happens appropriately, that's fine. So we'll do the power on stall now. So just kind of gradually bring the nose up more and more. It'll probably be about 20 degrees high before it's finally stalls. Just watch the speed bleed off a couple miles an hour every second. Feel yourself having to give that more and more right rudder. Alright, there goes. Don't use the ailerons. Then get the nose back up again. Don't stare at the ground. Ground is death. Bring the nose back up. Don't accelerate through VY. So pitch immediately for 80. There you go. Alright, so we wandered in the setup, but the recovery was okay. Good. Alright, so let's do the emergency descent. How close were you to Taekwondo earlier? I just want to make sure we're clear of the airport over there.
About 6 miles over there.
Turn back east. Other way, to the right. That's why I get away from Taekwondo early a little bit. This might give airports a pretty wide berth as you maneuver, and you can reset for cruise power. And like we talked about on the ground, we'll do a high drag, lower airspeed to kind of keep the engine from getting cooled out. So just hold the flaps down and put yourself in a 45-degree spiraling descent at the top of the white arc. So 100 miles an hour, 45 degrees of bank, flaps full, power.
Way down.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty far down. You'll actually start to see the little red chevrons on there.
Traffic.
And just make sure you don't overspeed the flaps. So that's 30 degrees of bank, so give us some more bank. And let's see. Our vertical speed will probably get up to about 2,000 feet per minute. More bank, that's 35 or so. That's the 45-degree mark there. And then, so get the nose up if you're accelerating or overspeeding the flaps.
Well, roger that. I'll cut you there.
Don't want to do that.
TCAS, thanks for the update.
So we're getting, I don't know, 1,600 feet per minute. This plane can definitely descend faster than that, but this is kind of the configuration I'd use on a day like today where you don't want to like shock cool the engine. And like I said on the ground, if you just put yourself into a forward slip at 100 miles an hour at the top of the white arc with the flaps down, this will peg the VSI at over 2,000 feet per minute.
God damn, we're going down, man.
Yeah. I think it is pegged now. And we'll recover like 2,500 feet or so, and then we'll just gradually descend down to do the rest of the ground reference maneuvers. This is kind of like the steep spiral maneuver on the commercial exam, except for that's not necessarily done with the a high drag configuration. That's like more of a staying in a defined radius of a point. It's like a combination of an emergency descent and a turnaround to point. So let's kind of do like a gradual recovery. So just level the nose a little bit, start gradually adding power and start bringing the flaps up gradually. Then we'll just kind of float down to where we want to be. Have to add, so just add more power, set cruise power, then gradually retract the flaps. Just don't want to overspeed the flaps. Other way.
Sorry, cheap.
Our airspeed and our ground speed are pretty much the same. So as you see it pass off your left wing, you'll start your left turn. I think we're, more or less downwind. So see how we're kind of sliding across the ground. This is the part where you have like the most angle of bank. And then as you start going upwind, you gotta like roll it out and use less bank, otherwise you're gonna get real close to it. Start rolling it out, and you kind of have to like point outward from it. You're gonna use the winds to, move the airplane around. So right now we don't have to do any turning at all, really, almost. The wind is like making us turn. Oh. And on this side, you need very, very little bank, because if you have too much bank, you're gonna just bank yourself right into it and cross over it. Although I don't think the winds are coming exactly from where I think they are. Uh, 318 at 21, so 318 plus 15. 335. But these are from Plattsburgh, I think, so they're rather a ways away. So now we're directly crosswind. I like to set the winds aloft in the bug so you can always tell where the winds are coming from. So now, probably less bank. It almost seems like we're upwind right now, actually, but I don't think we are entirely. I think if we'd set it up a little bit earlier and you wouldn't have to play with the throttle so much. That's the value of getting yourself a nice long lead in. You can kind of approximate the wind direction whenever the ground track and your heading are the same, and also when your airspeed and ground speed are lowest. There's the greatest difference between them. So, hey, I don't know if this is the first one or second one, but you have a very circular circle in there, and so you can break it off now, and I'll show you what you did here. I'll screen cap it. You can put a still image on your video if you want. Cool. So, the second one I think around was very circular. The first one you sliced off the, actually that was the turn into it, so actually the first full 360 was really nice. So good. So if the winds are out of the north, let's find a east-west road to do the
This guy right here?
It'll be alright. Alright, so let's just fly that way and get on the other side of it so we have a nice long lead in. Okay, so point us directly to the road here. Trim for level flight. Give maybe 10 seconds to set this up, so our ground speed's very high. Lots of people down on their sleds today. And as soon as we cross the road, so keep the look down, like look down at your landing gear. Once you see the wheel cross the road, that's your cue to start a pretty sharp bank to the left. So our ground speed's high here. So it's the sharp part of the turn. That's probably enough right there. And then keep an eye out on the road. Once we're parallel to the road, then you can start decreasing your bank angle, because now our ground speed is going to be lower. It's going to take more time to get back to the road. Get too much bank, I think. You're going to cross the road or you're going to break the 180 before you cross the road.
Before I get it, yeah.
So there's not supposed to be any like straight level flight at all in this maneuver. So just gradually, like lazily bring the wings level, then start a lazy right turn. So too much bank, too much.
Yeah.
There you go. And then once we're parallel with the road, you'll have to kind of like see, it looks like it's obscured by trees there. And then as you turn from crosswind to downwind, and you're parallel to the road, then you gotta really crank it over and increase your bank angle. Otherwise you'll get blown across the road before your wings are level. And you can do a pretty brisk straightening of the wings here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright, you lost some altitude, that's okay. The book says I have to teach the maneuvers, and say I have to like meet the ACS standards before you solo. I would say if you're like totally awful at them, I would maybe practice some more. But for the purposes of that, you had a pretty good handle on it, especially with the winds being the way they are today. And ooh, that's a nice S. I'll screen cap that too. You can flash that up on your. I like how it says that we're over 1,000 feet above the ground too, in case the FAA wants to send us nasty grams, which apparently has happened. So yeah, that's very S-shaped right there. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right, let's climb up a little bit. We'll head back to the airport. I think we got a little bit of time left to practice landings.
After finishing the maneuvers, we made our way back to Rutland Southern Vermont Regional and did 2 gusty crosswind landings. The plane's ready for its next 100-hour inspection, but after that, and if the weather cooperates, I'm prepped for my first solo.